Welcome to your yin yoga practice on Fridays. We're going to start with the shoulders. So I'm going to ask you to grab a couple of blocks, and this is going to really depend. You need to really try this out and see how it works for you. So take your blocks, and then essentially we're going to come to a child's pose. And you can have your knees wide apart from each other, so make it a nice comfortable child's pose. You can always put a blanket under your ankles or under your knees. And then what you're going to do is take your blocks and turn them to an angle like so, and your shoulders are going to rest on the blocks. So here we want to just let the shoulders be able to rest on these, or if you don't have blocks, you can always put, pillows here. But you want to really be able to lean onto these, and then you want to bring your forehead down to the floor. So here's where you need to see what works best for you. If you want to, you can turn the blocks to the highest and just drop your head down. It really depends on your flexibility, or to the flat portion and drop it down. So for me personally, the middle height is the best. So try it, see what works best for you, or maybe pile up blankets and that sort of thing to make sure that this is working for you. So essentially you just want the shoulders to be resting on top of your structure, and you bring the forehead down. And then as you pause here, just take a nice deep breath in. Let your forehead really melt onto your block. So you really want to take away any sort of responsibility from the shoulders. Most of the time you carry the weight of the world, really all of our responsibilities on our shoulders. So can you let the shoulders just find the support from your structure, and you really let go. And in fact, this is actually a really nice stretch for the hips as well. So as you're compressing the hips in this supported child's pose, you're also stretching out the top of your ankles or the feet, and compressing the knees and the hips. And wherever you're feeling it, maybe some of you are feeling the tension in your low back. Wherever you're feeling the tension, this is where you gather your tension. So different for all of us. Begin to send your breath there as if your breath can be an internal massage therapist. And then just settle in. With your forehead on the floor. You have a sensation of completely turning inward. Almost as if you're surrendering and allowing for whatever is present here to be present. Maybe you feel the sensations moving around in the neck, maybe the upper back and the low back. Couple more minutes here. Just really connect with your breath. Notice your natural inhale and exhale. Your breath doesn't have to be full or complete or shaped in any way. deep inhalation and exhale. And then super slow, take your time, you start to press yourself up. And I'm going to give you two different options for this next stretch. If you want to stay in the upper chest and shoulders and the neck, all you're going to do is just push the blocks to the top of your mat. And just push it far enough where you can still have your hands on top of your blocks. And then you're going to turn your hands to almost like you're karate chopping your blocks. So your little pinkies are on your blocks, your thumbs are up towards the ceiling. And then you just begin to drop your forehead down. If you want to continue doing this and you want to add a little bit of a hip stretch, bring your knees in and sit cross-legged. So in Sukhasana. And you're going to do the same thing with the arms resting on your blocks, but this time your ankles are crossed. So option A or option B, whatever works best for you, either child's pose legs or Sukhasana with your ankles crossed. If you're sitting Sukhasana, you get a little bit more hip stretch. If you're doing the child's pose, it's just a little bit more focus on the arms and the upper back. So wherever you are, come find your position and see that you're really pressing, either way, you're pressing the outside edges of your hands on top of your blocks. And again, if you feel like you can come down that far, if you're sitting in Sukhasana, remember you can always raise your blocks a little bit, like so, and then just rest the hands on top of your blocks and come forward. And if you are in child's pose legs, stay there. If you are in cross-legged or Sukhasana, slowly come halfway up, uncross your legs and put the other ankle in front. Or uncross your ankles, I should say, and put the other ankle in front. And then do the same thing. And you'll notice that one hip might be a little bit tighter, so maybe you need to be a little bit higher up. That's okay. But just notice if the shoulders crept up to the ears. So can you rotate the shoulders down the back, but still relax the back of the neck and drop the head down. And if you're in your child's pose, in your child's pose legs, stay there. We're all gonna eventually get together here. So stay there for just a couple more breaths. Nice deep inhale and long exhales. By the way, halfway through, if you really feel like you want to try the other pose, you can also do that. So really just, this is your practice. I want you to leave this class feeling completely whole and taken care of. One more deep breath in. Exhale it out. And then inhale, nice and slowly. Everybody come on all the way up. Bring your structure with you, please. As you sit tall, just take a nice deep breath in. Take your shoulders all the way up to your ears and down the back, and release them down. So as you're sitting tall, maybe just kind of rotate the shoulders in and out, and then raise the arms to the side, internal, external rotation of the shoulders like you're turning a big doorknob. And then reach the arms up towards the ceiling, same thing, just internal, external rotation. You're not going to be able to turn it all the way, that's okay. And then release the arms down, please. And then next pose, again, if you want to do a little bit more hip opening, You can go ahead and sit with your bottoms of your feet together, so in Baddha Konasana. Or if not, if you don't care about the hips today, you can just sit on your heels. If you sit on your heels and find this to be too intense on the knees, you can just put your block, another block under your hips and sit tall. So either one of those options for your legs, either Baddha Konasana, soles of your feet together, or on your heels, or on sitting on a block. Take your second block with you, and if you don't have a block, again, just take your book in between your hands. Arms are reaching out in front. So you're pressing strongly through the outside edges of your prop. And then as you take a nice deep breath in, slowly begin to raise the block towards the ceiling. So some of you may be able to just go up this far. Noticing the minute you raise your arms, are lifting the shoulders up too. So keep the shoulders down and back, down your back. And then you're just lengthening the arms. So keep the arms straight and you're lifting the arms a little bit at a time. So maybe you just pause here for just a moment and notice the sensations in the shoulders. Press your hands down at your block. So you're squeezing the block in between your hands. And then nice deep inhalation again. And then as you exhale, maybe raise the arms just a little bit. The minute you feel like you're arching the back to lift the arms up, come back down. So back up a little bit. I want you to think about engaging your rib cage. So your floating ribs are coming together, your belly is engaged. And all you're doing is lifting the arms up without leaking energy out of the belly. So keep the core engaged. Only go as far as you can without letting the floating ribs out. Maybe you want to lift the arms up just a little bit. Only go to your own edge. This is really, really important. Keep pressing the hands onto your blocks. Keep breathing into the back of the shoulders. Keep dropping the shoulders down your back so the shoulders are not touching the ears. And as much as you can, straighten the arms as you press the block in between your hands. And as we're staying here, I'm beginning to notice that I can lift my arms a little bit higher, but my arms are really actively pressing into my block. And I'm keeping the shoulders down, and my gaze is just down to the top of my mat. So soft gaze, letting my shoulders stay down, letting my body know that it's in a safe place. And in this way I can relax. The minute you relax the shoulders, the arms can lift up a little bit higher without overcompensating on your lumbar spine. And then some of you maybe even begin to reach the block behind your head. Just notice if there's that little bit of an opening. Take a nice deep breath in, keep pressing your hands into your block. And then nice and slowly come all the way back down. I'm sure you all felt that. And as you sit tall, rotate the shoulders all the way up and back, up and back, up and back, and then rotate them back and forward, back and forward, and back and forward. And then maybe you like to shake the arms out a little bit. And as you're ready, let's go ahead and move a little bit. So put your blocks to the side, bring your hands down onto the floor, come into tabletop pose. Inhale, send that right leg back behind you. Exhale, draw the right knee to your chest and step the right foot in between your hands. Actually, bring one of the blocks with you, please, and put that block on the inside of your right foot. And then have your hands on top of your block as you inhale, let the hips melt, bend that right knee a little bit deeper, and exhale, lift the hip up again. And let's go a couple more times, inhaling. So really opening into that hip, the left hip flexor and the right piriformis. Inhale, drop the hips down, let the hips really melt towards the floor. And exhale, just lift the hips up a little bit. Not a whole lot, you're not going through half split. Inhaling down, exhaling back. And then next time you inhale, pause here, stay here. You might want to put a blanket under your left knee to kind of support that knee. And if this feels good, stay here. Maybe you want to come down on your elbows, or maybe some of you would like to just come down on your left elbow, turn the left forearm so it's parallel to the top of your mat. And as you do that, you can take your right hand on the inside of that right knee and gently begin to roll to the outside edge of that right foot. So now we're really getting deep into that piriformis muscle. A wonderful, wonderful, incredible, resilient muscle in your hip. Breathe into it. Nice deep breath in. Exhale it out. And then at the same time, can you let the shoulders stay down? The minute we tense up, the shoulders come up. So let those shoulders stay down. And the shoulders are actually completely out of this pose. So really you're just focusing on the hips. Let that right knee go out to the side, roll up to the outside edge of that right foot so the inside edge is lifted off the ground. And the more you turn your torso, the more you press onto that right knee, the deeper the piriformis stretch, because you're creating an external rotation for that right hip. Nice deep breath in and exhale. And then super slowly come back to the center again. Move your hips back. Step your right knee back, please. And as you inhale, send that left leg up and back. And exhale, draw that left knee to your chest and step the left foot in between your hands. As you do, by the way, one of the things I want to mention here is use your hand. If you feel like you're having difficulty stepping that left foot up, just use your left hand and step that left foot up. So you can also do this in downward facing dog. This is a little sidetrack. But you can also do this if you go into downward facing dog and you're stepping the left foot in and you feel like you can't step it all the way. Step your foot down, take your left hand to your calf, and then use your hand to step it up. Okay, just a little side note. Anyway, back to our lizard stretch. Bring your block on the inside of that left foot. And then as you lift the chest up, let the hips melt. And exhale, take your hips back. Just slightly, you're not going to half split. Inhaling, let the hip drop, lift the chest. Exhale, take the hip back. And two more times, inhale. Let that hip drop, nice and easy movements. Exhaling back. And then this time as you let the hip drop, pause here. So your options are stay here and just think about the right hip melting down. You can always pat underneath that right knee. Or you can come down on your elbows. This might be a little nice option for you. Or you can turn that right forearm down, so it's parallel to the top of your mat, perpendicular to your body. And then you take your left hand on the inside of that left knee as you roll the knee open, roll the outside edge of that left foot. So the inside edge comes off, and then you can rotate the chest. And just breathe into it. The more you press that left knee, the deeper you get into that piriformis. But make sure you're not just putting all your weight into it. There's a little bit of resistance in that left knee as well. That resistance actually helps you stretch a little bit. So press just slightly into your hand as you're opening the knee. And then breathe into it. Nice deep inhalations. and exhale. Notice where the shoulders are. Can you drop them down your back? Just stay with your deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Very nice. Now slowly begin to come back to the center. Again, take your time. When we stay in these poses, make sure you don't just jerk out of the pose or jump out instantly. Just take your time, come down. Take that left knee back behind you. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up into your downward facing dog. Let the head melt. Let the upper shoulders move away from each other as you bring the forearms towards each other. Press through the base of all 10 fingers. Inhale. And then as you exhale, walk your feet all the way to your hands, please. Inhaling, halfway up, lengthen the spine. And exhale and fold forward, drop the head down. And then here, just sway your torso side to side for just a moment. Let the head really completely drop. Bring your hands back to the floor. Step your right foot in between your hands as you step the left foot back behind you. So you're coming into your runner's lunge. And then heel toe that right foot to the left wrist and bring the right knee down to the floor. So you're coming into your pigeon prep. But as you come into the pigeon prep, I want you to do a couple things differently. So press the outside edge of that right ankle so the outside edge of the right foot comes off the ground. Keep that. Press the ankle down. Press the outside edge of that right shin down. Press the right knee down to the floor. Take your left hand to your right knee and then just gently roll that knee out. So you're almost like rolling, like creating more space. Keep that right foot flexed. Roll the knee out, roll it out, roll it out, roll it out. So that really helps you press that right knee down. The more I press the right knee down, the more my right foot comes off the ground. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but the right knee presses down, right foot comes up. One more time, press the right knee down, right foot comes up, hold it here, keep lifting the chest up. And then exhale, release the right hand. Now this time, take the right hand to the outside of, take the left hand to the outside of the right knee. And you're gonna bring that left elbow down to the floor. If you go here and you feel like this is little too much, you can always put your hand on a block. So left elbow on top of the block. Your torso is turned towards your right knee. The more you're turning towards the right knee, the deeper that stretch gets. Make sure the entire time you're pressing that right ankle, right shin, and right knee down. That takes out a lot of the tension out of the knee so that your knee can be in a safe place while you're doing this. Left elbow on top of a block or on the floor. Twisting over to the right. Shoulders are soft. Inhale. And then if you want to do a little bit of a neck stretch, you can turn your gaze to the right. But keep pressing that right ankle, right knee, right shin down to the floor. So the right leg is really active here. Nice breath in to that right hip. Exhale it out. And then slowly begin to unwind. turn your torso towards the left, put both feet flat on the floor, and then drop your knees over to the left. So we're gonna repeat that same thing on this side. Bring your block with you if you need it. Extend that right leg back behind you. If you notice my right knee is a little bit bent, that's okay. You don't need to extend that leg straight out. If you want to, you can, if you want to get a hip stretch. But I'm really focusing on my left piriformis. So if you want a hip flexor stretch, extend that leg. Otherwise, keep it bent. So coming into your setup for your pigeon prep, press the outside edge of the left foot, left ankle. The outside edge of the left foot comes up. Press the shin down, press the knee down. Do that really consciously throughout this whole movement. Take your right hand to your left knee and roll that open. You notice how I roll it open, that foot comes off the ground. Roll it open. Keep rolling it open, like you're telling that left thigh to relax down towards the floor. Doesn't need to be all contracted. Let that left thigh relax down to the floor. And then next time you pause here, press the shin down, press the knee down. Take a nice deep breath in. Now you're ready to go to the next phase. So bring the block with you. Maybe your right elbow comes down to the block. The more you twist towards the left, the more hip rotation you're getting, which means that the more you're getting into that deep piriformis muscle. Maybe you don't need the block and you can bring that right elbow down. But my left hand is pressing on the floor and I'm actively rotating my torso to the left. And again, I'm really deeply breathing into my belly. Shoulders are soft. That hip, the left hip is really, really supported here. So let it just stretch out. Let it relax. Nice deep inhalation and exhale. If you like to stretch out the neck, you can turn your gaze to the left. And then nice and slowly unwind the spine. Take your time here. Coming back to the center, put your feet flat on the floor. Drop your knees over to the right. And then coming back to the center, drop your knees over to the left. And a couple more times side to side. Inhale, it's like you're massaging your buttocks. And it's in the center and to the left. You can use your hands on the floor if that helps. If you want a little more core work, lift the arms up. And last one, come back to the center. Now for the next setup, I'll show you just one time where we're heading, and then we'll do it together slowly. So your blocks are right next to each other like so. The short ends are meeting. You're creating a little bit of a structure here. And you're gonna take a blanket and put it on top. This is to just give you a little bit of a cushioning on top of your blocks. And then you're just gonna sit right on the edge of the block. So if you're really tall or have a really long torso, you can put a third block or maybe another pillow or something down here. Or you can also put a pillow under your head. We're gonna lay down on our back with the knees bent. So feet are flat on the floor. And then if you feel like this is too much for the neck, it's actually a really good stretch for the neck, but if you feel like it's too much, you can put a blanket under your head so you rest your head. This is the phase one. And then for the phase 2, we're going to keep the shoulders and back exactly where they are, and then gently begin to press, hold on to the edges of our mat, and we're just going to kind of press ourselves up towards the top of the block as the shoulder blades come down onto the floor, okay? And so what this does is it's kind of pulling on the my trapezius and on my shoulder muscles, and I'm kind of stretching my neck. And then from here, I can either keep my knees bent or straighten the knees. Okay, so those are the phases we're going. So let's begin with the first one. Check on the time very quick. Great timing, perfect timing, in fact. So sit on the edge of your structure and then come down, please. Initially, your shoulders are going to be on top of your block, your back of your head is resting on the floor. And then kind of lift your chest up so you can let the shoulder blades come down your back. And just pause here for a moment. If you feel like this is kinking the back of your neck, put a blanket under your head so you can feel comfortable here. Close your eyes. And just breathe into this opening in the front side of the body, the chest and the shoulders and the arms. And the belly. Nice deep inhalation and exhale. Feel the support of the blocks underneath your body. And then we're going to go into phase 2. So if you want to go with me, grab the edges of your mat. And as you hold on to the edges of your mat, we're just going to pull the shoulders, so the skin of the upper back, you're pulling it down as you're moving your shoulders, your head and shoulders up. You're kind of sliding on your blocks, and you're sliding on the blocks so that the blocks are going to be now almost at the bottom edges of your shoulder blades, maybe a little bit lower than your thoracic spine. So keep pulling till you find that spot, and it's almost like the skin of your back, all the way from the occiput, the base of your skull, to the upper back is just being stretched out. And then once you find that point, that juicy point of stretch, you just release your mat and then relax your arms, and then you see what you want to do with your legs. So maybe you want to extend the legs, lengthen the tailbone if you need to, or you can bend the knees, put your feet flat against each other, soles of your feet. If you want a little more hip opening, do the Supta Baddha Konasana with the soles of your feet together, knees wide. If you don't need that, you just want a hip flexor opening, just straighten your legs. So we're all getting what we want. Let the palms be open. Right now, the top of that top block, the first block, should be at the bottom of your shoulder blade. So it's no longer in the shoulders, and it's not really in your thoracic spine either. It's at the bottom edges of the blade, the shoulder blade. And then breathe into your chest and belly. And exhale, empty the belly, empty the chest. continue with your breath. If at any point you want to change the position of your legs, feel free. So if you want to just put the feet flat on the floor or extend the legs or whatever your legs want to do, your body will tell you. Just stay here for another minute. Notice if your chin is lifting, draw the chin towards your collarbones, letting the back of the neck be long. Notice what's happening in your mind right now. We go through thousands and thousands and thousands of thoughts all day long. Most of them are conscious, unconscious. And that's okay. That is just the way our human brains work. Some of that unconscious thoughts become more creative, some not. So the more we pay attention to what it is that we're putting our focus on, the more we're able to direct those thoughts. And again, there's even judging your thoughts as another thought. So even saying, oh, why am I thinking so much? That's another thought. So let whatever is happening happen. Just see if you want to be more conscious about what's going through the mind. Nice and slowly begin to bend your knees. Put your feet flat on the floor. Wiggle your toes and fingers. And then gently just roll over off your structure for just a moment. So don't try and sit up right away. Roll to the side. Push your structure to the side. And then stay on your side for a moment. After that, I usually like to bring my knees a little bit closer to my chest, like a fetal position. Just kind of close your eyes. Let the back, let all the compression in your back relax a little bit. And then nice and slow, roll over to one side, please. And come into a comfortable seat. Sit tall. We're just going to move our spine a little bit to neutralize it. Left hand on your next to your body. Reach the right arm up. Exhale and fold to the left. Inhale to the center. Lower the right hand down. Reach with the left arm up and exhale, fold to the right. And then just kind of sway your torso side to side. Easy, easy does it. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Your gaze is just to the front of your mat. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Inhale and exhale. And then to the right. Inhale and exhale. Very nice. Sit tall. Put your hands on your knees. Close your eyes. Just breathe into your spine, inhaling. And sigh it out, exhale. And then for our final pose, for our Shavasana, I'm going to suggest that you lay down on top of a long rectangle structure. So what I just did with my blanket is I just folded it one way, and this is going to support my spine. I'm also going to put something under my head. So I'm going to take another block and use that as a pillow under my head. And then at the same time, I'm going to put something under my knees. So I'm going to take my other block and put it under my knees. I'm just going to lay down on my structure, my head resting comfortably on my block. I have to adjust it a little bit more. So there we go. Okay, now we're good. So do whatever you need to get really comfortable. Make sure your spine is supported. We did a deep, deep, deep stretch for that. So make sure your back is supported, your knees are bent and are resting on something. Your head is supported by something. Palms are open. Close your eyes. Feel the sensation in your body. Maybe you feel pulsation in your spine. Just notice what's happening inside your body. Notice if there were areas of your body that were numb before, and now they're alive, they're awakened. That is just the flow of energy. Just let yourself bask in this beautiful, vital, energized moment. If you have time and you'd like to stay here longer, please, by all means, go ahead and stay. Enjoy this rest before your long weekend. If you're ready to continue on with the rest of your day, wiggle your toes and fingers. Draw one knee to your chest and then the other knee to your chest. Notice which nostril you're breathing out a little bit easier. Roll over to that side. Pause for a moment. And with the strength in your top arm, press yourself to a comfortable seat. You can sit tall, or if you like to stay in your Shavasana, just stay there. Maybe you can put your left hand on your chest and right hand on top of your left hand. And bow down to yourself in this moment. In this moment of recognition that you are truly a unique manifestation of life energy, and that you truly are feeling this life energy inside of you in this moment. Thank you all so much for allowing me to guide you through your practice. Have a beautiful